Hey guys, so welcome to our second video made for Nowa 2.0. Now this is only going to be an unlisted video. It's going to be made for you privately for you to know how to use Nowa. Now in the last video we showed how to use custom functions and custom widgets in a very basic way. But now since we improved it a lot in the last, we did 4 releases so far, let's show you the full potential now of custom widgets and custom functions. And then I'm going to walk you through the expression that was also added after the release of the first version of Nowa 2.0. And we're going to end up with a new thing, which is custom class. So let's start with a custom widget. So in this custom widget, now you can also create parameters. So let's see an example. So if we go to BobDev, we have this package called Flutter password strength. And what it does, it's a widget only. So it have this, this bar that will show you the strength of your password. So let's say you're building an app and I'm gonna, for example, drop, let's say, a text field, and this text field, let's say I will have a password. I will not try to worry about the design for now. I'm just gonna need to show you how it works in a quick way. So let's say I'm gonna write my password here and I want to show how strong is a password. So I want to use this package that I don't have on Nowa. So how can I use this with custom widgets? So first of all, when you use Nowa on desktop, remember to run your app on an emulator. So I run an app on an emulator. Now I need to just click on restart. When I click on restart, I will have now the text field inside. So the first time you run your app on an emulator, it might not work at least during this beta stage. So you have to do it the first time from VS Code directly, and then it's gonna work. So just go to your local project and then run it in the emulator. But then the second or the third time, or you wanna do like a restart, it's gonna work. So you only need to do this one time for some cases, in case you had a problem with it. So, okay, I want to use that custom widget. So the first thing, I need to install this package. So I'm going to take the command, I'm going to go to VS Code to my local project, and in the terminal, I'm going to simply just call flutterbub add and add this package. Okay, so now I have it. And then inside Nowa, for example, I can still write the widget inside the same file, or I can create a new file to make stuff organized. So I can make a new Dart file and I can call it password strength check. So this will be the file that will get my widget. And now it's an empty file and I can write code here, but let me open it in VS Code so I can have the autocomplete and everything. And now I can simply create a stateless widget. Okay, now this should work, the command stateless, but I think maybe I need to import first the Flutter material to the file, and then stless, and then I will have the shortcut of the stateless widget, and now I will have it, call it like my password strength check. Very horrible name actually, so don't use this name. And in the build I will actually call the widget. So if I go to the package, I can see here how to use it, and I can see an example which is this one. So I'm gonna actually just copy paste it and put it here instead of the I will not do this as a constant, and I will have this to import. So import the package. I mean, we installed it already, so just click on import and you will import it. And here's the password. And here what we did. Now you can pass custom parameters to the widget. So this widget, now it's stateless because you will pass a password from outside this widget to this widget. So the state or the password will live outside, but you will pass it to this widget, so you can keep it stateless. I mean, this is just Flutter information. And here I can create a parameter. So I'm gonna make a string. I'm gonna keep it like keep it final. So string, and I'm gonna call it password. It already helped me to do that. And I will then, maybe I can also keep it nullable. So in case I'm not passing anything, and so I don't need to pass a default value for it. And here, for example, I can say this to password, and I can make it required. And oops, we made a mistake here. Oh, wait, let's say the private. Okay, I will just remove the private. Now we have the stateless widget. So what we did is simply, we created a stateless widget. We created a parameter, which is gonna be the password. We will accept this parameter in the constructor, so we can pass a password to this widget. And then we are using the widget from the pubdev, from the package, to give us how strong the password is, and we're passing the password parameter to the field that comes from the widget. Okay, let's just try this out. So now we will see this placeholder. So this was a file that was empty, and now it has a widget, the one we created. So let's go back to the home screen. And now I can see immediately my password strength check. Now, this is a placeholder, and this is because it's a custom widget. So it's a technical limitation by Flutter. We cannot render the this widget because it's written by code, after the deployment of Nowa, so you don't need to worry about it. It's just a placeholder, but you will see the actual one on the emulator. So now the thing is, this will need a password. So I need to pass a password from the text field to the widget. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the file preview, because in the new version Nowa 2.0 you cannot create variables from the board. You have to click on this to open the file preview, and inside you can create variables. The text variable here is a controller that comes by default with the text field. And I will create another one called password, and this will be string. And I will make my custom widget get this password. So now my password will be connected to the variable password will be connected to the parameter password for the widget. And now all I want to do is I need to go to the unchanged callback, which will be called every time you change inside the text field. And I will take the value from there and give it to the password. So it will give me the strength of the password. So what I'm going to do, unchanged, I'm going to go inside. And what I need to do is add an empty statement. And I will go to the locals, and I want to set I will choose the password variable that I created, and then I will choose to set it. And I will set it to the text that comes from the text field. So to access the text from the text field, you choose the text object from the controller, and then you click on text. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting the password variable to make it equal to the text coming from the text field on every change on the text field. And then, of course, because this changes the UI, I need to tell that the screen to refresh so it updates. So the last expression I'm gonna call refresh, and that's it. So what I'm gonna do now is I will simply restart, and after I restart, I can see here, and when I write here a password, I will see this widget show me the string of the password. But it looks, of course I can make it look better, so I can just decrease the height and increase the width, and then just save, and then hot restart, and then in the emulator I can see the new one, and now I can, for example, see this strength. But also you can create full layout out of it. You can watch Nowa already YouTube tutorials on the UI, because in 2.0 the UI did not change a lot, so you will be able to do the same thing. So now here I created a column, for example, out of it, and let me restart, and then inside here I can decrease the space between them, for example. So, and then here I can also decrease the space so I can get it to be closer. And okay, I just need to save, do a hot restart, and then in the emulator I will now see it's the closer, and then I can update, I can write here, and I will see the string of the password. Awesome. So this is the first case. Let's talk about now a second case. I'm gonna now do a combination between a custom widget and a custom function. And in this case, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use Flutter map to add a map to the app when it will have 2 pins, and then using another package called geolocator, I can calculate the distance between those 2 pins. So to do that, I will need to use the custom widget, which is this one, the custom function from geolocator, and then make them all work together inside Nowa very easily. So let's actually first start by, again, installing the packages. So I'm gonna go to the terminal, install the first one, and then I'm gonna go to the second one. Okay, and then I'm gonna create, again, a Dart file. I can still write my custom code inside an existing screen, but to make things clean, I would like to separate things. And I'm gonna call this map widget. So this is gonna be the name of the file, and then I will have the file to be here. It's empty. Now I'm gonna open it in VS Code. So here I'm gonna paste a code that I already have for the Flutter map widget, because I don't need to spend time writing it. I'm just gonna paste it. You can also get it from ChatGPT, paste it here. And what this widget does, it's named map with pens. It's a stateful widget. It has a callback of a function that takes the start and the end location in longitude and latitude. So you need to pass a function to this widget, and then from inside this widget, it will call this function when the user chooses 2 different points. So now we need to pass this function from outside, but for now, this is a callback. So if I go inside the build, I can see here that when you tap, what this widget does is, like, if the start pin is not set, it will set it. If the end pin is not set, it will set it. Otherwise, if both are set, it will just reset the starting pin. And here, it's just the widgets, that's like the marker, and here, which is the main widget layout. So this is how this widget is structured, nothing related to Nowa. And now what I need to do is I need to paste a custom function here, and I have already the source code of this custom function that I can just paste it, so I also will save time. So this custom function called calculate distance, and it will now calculate the distance. I need to just import the package. I already installed it before, so I can just click on import, and I don't need this function, by the way. So it's just a simple function that returns a double, and what it takes the longitude and latitude doubles, and then inside it will just return the distance between them. And here inside the widget itself, you can see that when the start pin and end pin are set, it will call the callback, and it will pass the start pin, the longitude and latitude, the same thing for the end pin, the longitude and latitude. So now we have the custom widget here, we have the custom function here. Let's go back to Nowa now. And now this is the home screen. If I go to the components, I can find my map. So it's map with widget. And here I can see that I need to pass a function to this map. So here, what this function will do, it will call the other custom function we created that will calculate the distance. So this function, now that I will need to pass to the widget, what I need to do is, first of all, you will realize when you go to locals here that you have the start and the end longitude and latitude. And this comes from the callback, because the callback here in the widget already defined those variables. So you will find them here because you can use them, because the widget itself will pass values for those parameters inside. So you will have them under locals. So what I need to do here is I can simply, okay, first actually we need to have a text widget, and this will be the distance. So this text widget will present the distance. And also I need to open this screen in a file preview, and I will create a double variable called distance. And this will be a double, and I need to show this double here. So in the text field, I'm gonna connect it to the distance, and I will choose toString to connect it to string. And by default now, it's 0. So what I need to do is when the user set 2 pens, the function will calculate the distance, and then it will set the distance variable, which will then show to the user here because it's connected to the text field. So in the callback that I'm passing to the widget, I need to set the distance, the one I created, and the value of the distance will be the function. So I created the function that I need now to call. And here comes the benefit of custom expression. Here, if you didn't find what you need in the menu, you can click on custom expression and write your own one. So what I need to do, I just need to call the function. So I will just get the name so I don't do mistakes with the name. I'm gonna paste it here, and all I will need to do, I just need to call it. And then it will tell me, oh, this function expect start and end, longitude and latitude. And I was like, all right, those things are available in the locals. So I need just to connect them together. So the start, I'm gonna connect it to the start longitude. I'm gonna do the same for the latitude. I'm gonna do the same for the end longitude. I'm gonna do the same for the end latitude. And now this will be the value of the distance. And then I need to refresh the screen as one last step to update the UI. So what does happen? Okay, let's just now play, and then we're gonna explain again if we didn't understand what's going on. So let me restart the app, and let's open the emulator. Now we have the map. By default, it's 0, and then I have here the map. I can just move around. Let's say I clicked here, so I have the first pen, and then I clicked here, I have the second pen, and then it calculates the distance in meter. This is what the package says, which is 3,359 meters between those 2 points. If I click again, it will choose another distance. If I click again and I try to go really, really far away and click here, I will see 11,000 meters, 11 kilometers. So yeah, it works perfectly. So now I connected the custom widget and custom function to be able to work together. So let's wrap a little bit in case you didn't understand. So this widget will expect a callback, a function, and this widget will call this function internally and pass to this function the longitude and latitude. But it doesn't know what to do, so you have to pass a function from outside. And I already have a function that calculate the distance according to a location. But in order for all of that to work together, I need to pass a callback to the widget where I tell it to set the distance I have to equal to the result that comes from the function from calculate distance. And then when I pass that function to the map widget, when the user chooses 2 points, the map widget will use a function that I already passed to it to calculate the actual pins and calculate the actual distance, and then it will update the variable here, which will update the text. There are going to be way more videos. If you have any problem, please just text us on the Discord channel. But here should be clear how to use now the custom function and custom widget. So you can, remember, with custom widget or custom functions, you can have any return type. It's not just going to be void. And for the custom widgets, you can also create parameters. So this makes your options unlimited and in terms of what you can do with Nowa. Now, let's go for the third important thing, which is custom expressions. With custom expressions, you can write really powerful Dart expressions right off the editor. So it can make your building process way easier and simpler. So let's say I need to do a simple check if a variable was null. So let's say I'm going to create a string called name. Okay. And I'm going to create a text field. And here, for example, I will need to show if the, let's say if the name was whatever it is, I need to show it there. But if the name was null, I need to show here that there is no name. So to do that, if I go to the variable now, I will say that here, let's say I can set the default value to be null. So now this variable is null. And in the text field of the text widget, I can then click on custom expression, and I can say, I can use the null aware expression, which is I will put the variable I need to show, and then I will put 2 question marks, which means that if the variable was null, then get the other part, which gonna be no name is there. I click on evaluate, and then I can see here if it understood it correctly. So the operator, if null, the type is string, the left hand side is a name, and the right hand side is no name is there. Perfect. If I click here, I can go back to the freestyling of the custom expression. So here I can see here it's written no name is there because the name is null. And if I write here anything and I click on enter, it will change to that name. So I write like, let's say my name, it will change to that name. If I then go to null, it will change to no name is there. Okay, let's do now something else. Let's create a variable called age, and let's keep this age to be integer. Now we can also do conditional expressions. So let's say here in the custom expression, instead of this one, what I'm gonna do is if the age is above 18, I can be like, it's good. Otherwise, I can be like, you're not allowed to sign up. So I can use a conditional expression. So I can say if age is above 18, then it's okay. It's okay. No, wait, I have to put the question mark here. Question mark, it's okay. Otherwise, it's not. Evaluate. And then I can see it got it. And here it says it's not because age is 0. So if I say like 17, it's not. If I say like 19, it changed to it's okay. We can also do arithmetic operations. So I can simply go to this text widget and I can say like 10 multiplied by 10, and then let's say multiplied by 14. But here, be aware that the result of this expression is integer. So you always have to write toString around it to make it work. So, I mean, if you able to write this expression inside the code, you will be able to write it inside Nowa. If I click on evaluate, I can click here, I can see the number. I can also, like, let's say, use the age in that field. Let's say I want to do something else. Let's say I want to have a container and I want the color of the container. So it's not just text. You can do on any of the things on the text field. So even the color, I can say here, so I have here like a color, which is a default one. But I can say, for example, if the age is above 18, for example, then use this color. Otherwise, let's say I need to use another color. And I will choose, I will change a little bit here so I can see the difference. So now, if the age is less than 18, it will have one color, and if it's more, it will have another color. So with this, you can build really powerful expressions. Also, you can do function calls. So let's say I create a function that, well, let's say return, I don't know, a string, and this function will just simply get my name and return hello, for example. So what I'm gonna do is I can literally return directly, and I don't even need this one. And inside return, I can say what I want to do is I want to return a custom expression, because you can also use a custom expression inside the circuit. And I can say I want name, or I can say hello plus, let's say, the variable name, and I need some space here. So yeah, that's it. And then this function will return hello with the name. And then now, if I go, let's say, to this text field, and I click on the custom expression, I can then call the function. So the function name is func, if you unsee, because we did not change it. And the function doesn't take any parameter, actually, it just uses the name. So I'm just gonna need to call it, and that's it. Problem, because now the variable name is null. So this is why it didn't work. But if you click here, and if you write like my name, then it can say hello Anas. But of course, we can also do something else now. Since we saw this use case, let's keep it to null. So let's try to fix this. So the problem here it's happening that the function itself, inside the function, the expression here, this name is actually null. So we need to be able to handle that. So what we can do is literally we can use the null-aware expression. So we can say get the name, otherwise let's say we can call it user. If I click on evaluate, if I close, if I'm here back, then the name is null, so I can see hello user because I don't have a name. The moment I can put my name, then I can see the result, which is hello Anas. So yeah, with this, try it out. If you face any problem, post it please on Discord and we will work on it right away with you. Okay, the last case, custom class. So let's see what we can do with a custom class. So I can, let's say I'm gonna actually, this time I'm gonna use the same file and it will not create a new file. I can open it in VS Code and let me create a new class. I'm gonna call it person, and because I have Copilot, I can get some autocomplete. So I can have a name, an age, and it also create a constructor. Let me also create a function. So let's say I'm gonna say print name, and it will literally print the name. That's it. If I go back to Nowa now, immediately I already have that class imported because we're using the same local project. So let's say what I need to do is I need to have a text field where I will be writing, let's say, a name. And then when I click on a button, I'm gonna call the function from inside the class. So what's gonna happen now? Or actually, let me make it even better. I can literally just call the function every time any text inside changes. So in the text field, I can go to unchanged. And in unchanged, you can see that you will have under locals something called value, which is the value of the text. Now, this is not released yet, but in the future, you will see the parameters for that function on the left side, so it will be more clear. You don't have to go to locals to see it. But now let me actually try to use again the custom expression, and I can create an object out of the custom class I created. So I can create a person, and I click on evaluate, and then it will tell me that it needs a name and it needs an age. Let's say I'm gonna put now any age, but the name, I'm gonna actually get the name from the value from the text field. So now I created an object from the class person. The name will be from the text field and the age is always 19. And I want to store the result in a variable. So I will name it me, the name of the object. And I can see the type is person, which is the custom class I created. And here I can see also like the default value, which is the same that I already passed. And here, the next step, I simply need to call the function. That's it. So I'm gonna create a statement. And if I go to the locals, I can see the object, which called me from the type person, which is the one I just created in this step above. And this is like a local variable created inside this function. And then inside the expression me, what I'm gonna call is print name. And print name is exactly the function I created here. So now I am calling this function. That's it. All right, so now we can just click on hot restart to actually get the app. And we can also open the log console so we can see the logs because it will print on the log. And now if I just write anything here, I can then see, if I click on the logs, I can see here all the names I'm writing. So let's say I'm gonna just write Anas, then I can, with every single change, I can see the print working. So now I can see it actually works. Okay, so now you saw the really powerful things in Nowa 2.0. Now, what we really want you to do, guys, is that we want you to try to build your actual app, the app that you really wanted to build since a long time. And you need to take this opportunity of this private beta because what we are offering here is very difficult to offer later. We're gonna work with you guys in person to get your app done. So when you start your app and you have any problem, we will jump on a call with you to help you get your app done. So guys, please start it out. Use this time that is only in private beta, so we literally can jump on you every single day and help you out, because we don't have a lot of people that have access. And by the end of this period, we want you to have your big app already done. So let's start building and see you again soon.